All right, everybody. Now, I put the tweet up already saying that Warzone isn't, comp isn't dead, but Warzone as we know it is. Basically, what I said. So, let me elaborate on that. And again, these are just my thoughts, raw thoughts. What we had with Warzone when it first came out versus what Warzone is now is pretty much two completely different games. In my opinion, they're two totally different games. And they're gearing all of this towards comp. And maybe that's the only way that the game will survive at this point. Because honestly, playing the game itself, because we've been playing it for so long, it has lost, there's no real meaning in playing it anymore. Even for me, I love Warzone and I will play the game. I play the game with my boys. I play the game even by myself if I feel like it. But there's nothing like the past few years, so the camo grind and all that other stuff, it had its purpose and it kept me engaged with the game. But it's like a year after get the camos and all that other stuff. It's all aesthetics. You don't actually need them. But it's like one of those things where it's like you attain something and that's fire. And there's nothing wrong with what they're doing now, which is giving you 50 billion skins and 50 billion camos to grind for, which is great. But at the end of the day, when we're talking reality, what's the point? Especially if we're all going to be reset next year. Again, it's like the whole Madden 2K thing, especially like with my team, because that's where I started. I started with my team in NBA 2K. And it's like at the end of the year, every summer, the beginning of the summer, we get the GOAT packs, you get the Invincible packs, and it's like you get this unstoppable team, and it all really depends on how you play with the team. And after the new 2K comes out, that shit is irrelevant. You got to start all over again. So it's like, it's not the fun. It's not fun. The game is fine, but because it is a repetitive thing, the only people who find an interest in the game now is the people who play comp. The ones that get something out of it that is like monetary. It's like everybody that is a part of World Series of Warzone, anybody that could be a part of World Series of Warzone has something to gain from playing this game every year. The rest of us are playing to play. So it's like when I say comp is growing, but the actual like itself for the rest of us, and I've seen people just put the game down and just be like, I mean, it's still cool, but they don't miss it. They don't as invested into it because there's nothing, they're not getting anything out of it anymore. That could be a thing. It's just not exciting anymore. Those early days of getting Warzone wins when it was fucking phenomenal, the dope was crazy getting Warzone wins. You can get a Warzone win now and be like, I don't care who I played against. It's like, cool, won a Warzone game, but like, on to the next one, right? Especially with the community that is as toxic as Call of Duty's community is. And they can't say that they're not. Warzone is going its infancy with comp, but I foresee them, they're going the way of Apex, they're going the way of everything, because again, the game is not the same as it was when it first dropped. 2019 Warzone plays nothing like this game. Nothing. If we went back to 2019 Warzone, everyone would hate it. Every single person would hate that game. It's too slow. Guns don't da 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 da. It would be a catastrophe if we went back to 2019 Warzone. I believe that in my heart. I don't think anybody else may believe that, but I believe in my heart that if we went back to 2019 Warzone, the shit would be fucked up. No one would like it. This game is just played differently. The game, and it doesn't matter to me. I can adapt to the game. I played every iteration of them changing this game, and I've been successful at every iteration playing this game. But I guarantee you, the people who are not as invested as pros, as people in orgs and all that other shit, it's gonna be like, all right, now if they separated the games in this, that, and third, how it's played, because with the Iron Gauntlet, and then you got ranked, and then you have pubs, and then you have casuals, it's like piece of the pie for everybody. But look what they're doing with Iron Gauntlet. They're putting it out in sprints, and then they're taking ranked away, so you don't separate the player base, so you can get all the data and stuff like that. Possibly to have this for World Series or Warzone, who knows? But at the end of the day, when it comes right down to it, and it's just the same thing with like Arc, you have people who don't want to fight at all. You have people who don't want to be in any PvP engagements in Arc Raiders, but at some point they will be, and they're going to lose all their shit, and then they're going to be upset. Arc Raiders is fine, by the way. They've got plenty of players. However, for Warzone, it's you're going to play the game or you're not going to play the game. You're going to be frustrated at the game, or you're going to be invested in the game. So far, Call of Duty's never going to die, because you see, even when it's not the top selling, even when it's not at the top of everybody's list, the game still has a constant player base, and it will never, ever. There's players that are just going to keep playing. However, if you're going to keep gearing the game towards comp and just, of the game, I mean how you play the game. If you keep changing how you play the game towards comp, it's going to be another Apex. And Apex, for what it is successful still too. I have no beef with comp. I like comp. I want comp to succeed, because if comp succeeds, that means Call of Duty succeeds. However, I appreciate comp, but I don't play comp. I don't. I play Arc Raiders to chill, relax, maybe have a little bit of spice in my day. Just a little bit of spice. But believe you me, this game is about to shift to a different spot where the game itself is comp. The game itself will require you to have skill to even have a shot. Like I said, there's no problem with that. However, when you look at it and you think about it, comp is taking over the game. And whether like not the amount of people who play that are casuals, the ones that just play with their boys and stuff like that, especially with other games coming out, and Grand Theft Auto. Once Grand Theft Auto comes out, we already know what's about to happen with that. Then other Star Wars games is coming out. Like, there's gonna be competition for people's attention. Warzone is going to be a niche game to where it's like you have to be good, right? And people can say, "Oh, this game is the easiest game to pick up." Yeah, you shoot. But the people playing the game, the people that it's going to attract, especially with them digging their teeth into comp, the people that the game is going to attract is what's going to make the game competitive. And I mean, that's absolutely fire. That's fire. I'm good at the game, but I ain't that good, and I don't want to be a pro. I wouldn't make it to be a pro. So, I mean, just not the game for a lot of people anymore. But that's my point. The game is about to shift, and it's not going to be for a lot of people anymore. It's not. I hope Call of Duty succeeds. I hope it stays around for a long time, because I'm always going to be a fan of Call of Duty. I'm always going to play Call of Duty. I'm always going to be the biggest supporter of Call of Duty and Raven, Activision, Sledgehammer. I'm going to always be a fan of their creations, especially the individuality that each studio brings. Well, we'll see what happens when Modern Warfare 4 comes out and what the stakes it's in, because I could just be talking way too soon, because I respect Infinity, but I know a lot of other people, if not everybody else, hates them. So we'll see what happens. Boy Silencer. Peace.